What's up, guys? It's DOC, and now I'm live with you guys right here in the studio late Saturday night. Have I got a big show lined up for us tonight, guys? Tonight I'm going over the TSSA's current ruling and what the House legislators. Let me turn that down for us, guys. I'm excited. I practiced this show earlier and now I'm coming at you. I believe I've got it down. But let me tell you what we're going over tonight, guys. This past Wednesday, the Tennessee Senate Educational Committee met in Nashville. All right, guys, they were going over the transfer portal rule. All right, now it was not actually about the it was about the transfer portal, but guys, it does not specifically say transfer portal. What it says is that any state funded educational school will not be able to be a part of an association that does not support the transportal rule. Sorry about that, guys. I've got it loud in my backdrop right here. But guys, this is huge. What this is actually saying is guys, is I hope I'm still coming in loud. I had to turn it down in my headphones just a little bit right here, guys. All right, guys, what it's saying is that if TSSAA is an association here in Tennessee, every high school here in Tennessee is a part of the TSSAA, has been for years. They were founded in 1925, guys, so that's how long TSSAA has been, and that's how long they've been an association here in Tennessee, and most likely been a part of high school sports here in Tennessee, guys. And any high school activity you hear of the TSSAA. I know when we won the state in 1990, I remember it was the TSSAA Clinic Bowl. Everybody knows TSSAA. And this is for you guys who are not here in Tennessee, guys. Right now going on is the lawmakers here in Tennessee are finally stepping in and helping support the athletes here in Tennessee. Up until this time, athletes could not transfer without having to sit out a year unless they had a change of residence. And in the current ruling, TSSAA was given a chance for the last year to revise their ruling. So here in the past month, they did revise it. However, they stipulated specifically that you could not transfer because of athletics. If you was an athlete, that could not be the reason. You couldn't be going to this school because of sports, guys. And that's not fair. That is totally not fair. And what we're going to watch here today, and I'm going to chime in about what they had to say about this, is we're going to watch Senator Lowe this past Wednesday in Nashville, and we're also going to first see Senator Roberts, Senator Roberts is on the opposition against the bill, and the bill is HB 0025, which Representative Scott Sapicki is the one that first introduced, and now sponsoring it is Senator Lowe. That means it went through the House and it passed, and now it is in on the Senate, and it just now went through the Senate's Educational Committee, and since they have voted it to calendar, which we're going to see that here in just a minute, it is now going in front of the full body. Going to calendar means it's going to the full body. There were some people that was asking me that question because we was all watching it together. Mr. Kevin Bedford, you're one of those fellas. If you're watching this on the replay, or you just so happen to see that I was streaming live tonight and you're watching it, thank you, Kevin, for all you do, guys. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. I do. You watch out, and I love the drone. The drone's awesome, Kevin. He lets us use his drone to fly during the games because it's a nice drone. It's a nice drone, and I enjoy flying it during the games too, Kevin, by the way. But guys, this is a huge ruling here in Tennessee because you wouldn't believe all the parents that I've heard from in the last couple of weeks, and the kids. I've heard from a lot of kids, not kids now, they're grown men, but guys that and women that had went through some of this same stuff when trying to transfer to a school to play sports. But okay, right now I can send. Okay, before I jump ahead of myself. What we want to watch right here, right off the bat. First off, I want to thank you for watching. If you did see that I'm going live and you're watching me live, thank you very much. I do have my chat up right here, as by the way, but I tend not to look at my chat, guys. I'm trying to. I can incorporate it into my live stream and share what you guys say. And another big feature I can add now is you can call in and I can put you in live with me. That's a new feature I've got, and I'm excited about that one. Come football season, that's going to be huge. You're going to be able to get your say in on what, yes, yes, on the games. But let's move in to taking a look at what the House is doing, what the Senate is doing right now. What they're wanting is they're giving TSSAA a chance to change their ruling because the rule right now states that you still cannot move because of sports. And that's not fair to the athletes. It's not fair to the parents. It's the parents' decision for their kids, where they want their kids to go. And if they feel like that their kids are going to have a better chance at this school, then why not let them move? And strictly, and not just looking at powerhouses loading up. I mean, this is going, this is going to unbalance the playing field, or it's going to turn out to be like the college transfer portal. No, they're one time, anytime. And as you'll see right here in a little bit, as we watch this, you'll see that they strike it and they put that for any time. This is something that should have been changed for a long time now, guys. And I've really been watching it. I've been following along with it. And I know this may not be as interesting as what's going on in the Middle East right now or all the earthquakes that's going on. But this is huge in the state of Tennessee for all athletes. And I've actually started a petition, guys. And if you're interested, you can find my petition on my Facebook page. It is, and I am it. And it's real easy to find, guys, and it's on change.org. And I will put it in on my I'll put it in the description. I have not got it there now, but I will put it in on my description, guys. But guys, like I'm saying, I thank y'all very much for watching, and this is huge. This is huge. Let's jump right into seeing what was said on the House floor. This is from our lawmakers. This is amazing that the lawmakers have had to get involved in this, but TSSAA is a major entity here in Tennessee, and I've always said they're a monopoly, but we get to hear that from a senator here in just a minute. A fantastic gentleman, Senator Adam Lowe. Oh, he does a fabulous job right here in just a minute. So does Senator Roberts. I'll give him his daps, but we're going to jump off as we're going into this right here. We're going to first hear Senator Roberts speaking, and as I said, he is in opposition to the bill, and Director Reeves of the TSSAA is in his district. So Senator Roberts is speaking up for his constituents. I give him that. He's doing a fantastic job for his constituents. And there's a couple of others that join there. One of the ladies is from Memphis, and I'm not sure where the other fellow was from, but there was a vote for 6-3 to pass this, so it does move on into the House. We're getting close to this, athletes. This is going to be big for athletes. Young athletes, family members, you don't understand. If you're a running back and you go to just let's say you're in the 8th grade and you go to a school and find out that that school is a pass heavy school, or you find out that they don't really got much emphasis on sports, and you're wanting to better yourself by getting a scholarship and playing sports, but here you're stuck in a school that not going to run the ball, or they just not really care about football and got their best friend hired as a coach, and they're just happy they're out there playing, which not point fingers, and I'm not going to ever call out no names on that, but we all know there's a difference in coaching and a difference in being out there and just playing ball. You've got to be able to develop the kids to get ready for that next level, because that next level is a doozy. It's Corey Blasingame had told the kids at Buckhorn, said, if you don't love football, you better not go to the next level, because you're going to be eating it and sleep. You're going to sleep and eat it and dream it. Yes. I'd love to speak to him again. Corey, you're doing a fabulous job up there. But guys, let's move in. This is Senator Roberts right here, guys. And I want y'all to hear it. He does a fabulous job in what he says, but we're going to start off with him. And I curve it in here because I'm saying that Senator Roberts is throwing a curveball right here, because he's putting up a good he's debating this very well right here on the House floor in Tennessee, in Nashville, guys. Y'all could have watched this. This is always live on Nashville, on their website, Tennessee Gov's website, every Wednesday, I believe. I believe that's when they hold their meetings. But let me be quiet. I can talk all day, but I'll chime in right here in just a minute. This is Senator Roberts right here.
From a moment ago,
here he comes. Let me make sure I got his.
They adopted.
Oh, I don't know if I got his audio up for us, guys.
Then
yes, I do.
The amendment that we just adopted to this bill. So stop and think about this for a moment. And this is, and Senator Lowe, I really wasn't going to say anything until this is what led me to say something.
All right. I'm going to rewind it back because I was talking. Watch how well he debates this. Watch how well he puts forth his Watch how well he throws a curveball here. Is my words. I'm lacking the word right there. But watch how well he uses words here, because that's all I can think of. But let's listen, and then it'll come to me.
If I understand the testimony from a moment ago, the policy that they adopted is a little bit more generous than the amendment that we just adopted to this bill. So stop and think about this for a moment. And this is, and Senator Lowe, I really wasn't going to say anything until this is what led me to say something. I started looking at TCA for the code on this, and what I realized is this is basically policy. This is done by policy. It has been done by policy. It's been done by policy for years. And what we did, and we do this all the time, and I've probably done it. I can't point to any particular bill, but we've meddled before. As chairman of government operations, I did it on more than a few occasions where we threaten legislation to get somebody's attention, but then we get their attention. They do what we need them to do, and then there's really no reason to pass the bill. In this particular case, we have motivated them to do what we needed them to do. And in fact, they're doing more than what the bill would suggest. So what I would say is I would say job well done, Senator Lowe. We've accomplished the objective, and you may not agree with this, but this is the way I look at it. I don't think that we need to meddle with a 501c3 and put something in TCA that doesn't currently exist.
And that's just it. TSSAA has been able to hide behind that 501c3, I believe is what he's talking about right there. And that's just an organization here, a business body here in Tennessee. I should have pulled that up and gone over that with you guys. But that's what TSSAA has been able to hide behind. And you're going to hear Senator Lowe get on this right here in just a minute. But let's come back. I got to let y'all hear this very first, because he does a great job of this. And I got to brag on him about it. He's really good, and he seems like a great guy too. Yes, he does. I mean, even though he's the opposition right here, I've got to give him his dues. He does a fabulous job in countering what the others had said. These are the only parts that I have. I wish I had the first part of it when the dad testified. I was just listening, and then I better be recording this. All right, let's listen to this one more time, guys, and I'll tell you why.
If I understand the testimony from a moment ago, the policy that they adopted is a little bit more generous than the amendment that we just adopted to this bill. So stop and think about this for a moment. And this is, and Senator Lowe, I really wasn't going to say anything until this is what led me to say something. I started looking at TCA for the code on this, and what I realized is this is basically policy. This is done by policy.
It is policy, but this is kids' lives that you're messing with. Anytime that you make an athlete sit out for a year, you've took that 1 year away from that high school athlete that they're never going to get back, just because he wanted to better himself, or she wanted to better herself, or his parents or her parents wanted to better them. They make the athlete sit out for a year before they can even play, or they fine the school a tremendous amount of money or some money, and or take games away from them. I've heard of them taking the playoffs away. I've heard of them taking wins away from them, just because, let's say, if a family had got it approved to go to a school and the kid was there, but then when the kid got there, he wasn't getting the playing time he wanted, so the parents moved back to where they were from, and TSSAA finds out about it. The next thing you know, they fine the school, they take games away from the school, and there wasn't nothing the school could do about it. Or the coach wasn't out there recruiting. Most, like, okay, before I go, let's listen to more. It's like Alcoa. Everybody says Alcoa is recruiting. Oh, they recruit. Alcoa is not recruiting. Alcoa just has kids that want to come play there and get good coaching. That's point blank. That's what they want, to better themselves, and you can believe it will sort itself out. I'm all for letting them transfer once a year, because you can believe they won't jump around. Coaches will catch on to that, and a kid that jumps here and jumps here and jumps here, they're not going to spend a lot of time developing that student or that athlete just to have him jump somewhere else, because they know he's not going to be capable playing at the college level because he does not have that to stick in there. Okay, but this is Senator Roberts doing a great job. And what he's saying right here is they don't need to meddle in the in what TSSAA is doing because it is a policy, but it is a policy that is over state funded schools that has a say over kids that's the state has responsibility for, and it needs TSSAA needs a lot more oversight. And okay, I'm jumping in and let's listen to what Senator Roberts has to say. My bad, guys.
Has been done by policy. It's been done by policy for years. And what we did, and we do this all the time, and I've probably done it. I can't point to any particular bill, but we've meddled before. As chairman of government operations, I did it on more than a few occasions where we threaten legislation to get somebody's attention, but then we get their attention. They do what we need them to do, and then there's really no reason to pass the bill. In this particular case, we have motivated them to do what we needed them to do. And in fact, they're doing more than what the bill would suggest. So what I would say is job well done, Senator Lowe. We've accomplished the objective, and you may not agree with this, but this is the way I look at it. I don't think that we need to meddle with a 501c3 and put something in TCA that doesn't currently exist when they gave us what we wanted. So that's my argument for voting against it. And I apologize. Senator Lowe, I don't know that I've ever made an argument against a bill for one of my friends or colleagues, but I do have to say, Mr. Reeves is one of my constituents. I've known him for years. We've had this conversation before, and I have heard from all of my coaches, all of my superintendents, and so forth, saying, hey, we don't need this. The TSSAA is already acted. Thank you.
Go for your rebuttal.
Okay. Senator Lowe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. My name was called.
All right, guys, and right now, what we're about to hear is sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Now, what we're about to hear is Senator Lowe. He's going to get his chance. He had already spoke, and like I said, I wish I would have had his first what he said at first, his intro, because I'm sure it was good, guys. It was, but I was stuck watching this. It's amazing how you will get drawn into this stuff if you start watching it, and it's huge because there's a lot more stuff going on than we realize that has to do with our lives. But if you heard what he was saying right there, and like I said, he does a great job representing his constituents, and you heard him. He said that Director Reeves is in his district. So I'm sure he's had a conversation with Mr. Reeves. I'm sure they've talked about this a bunch. I'm quite sure this has been on the agenda for them. Of course, I'm sure it has been for Mr. Reeves for a while. Once the lawmakers decided, they started to come in and start to get a hold of this organization because they are a multi-million-dollar organization, guys. And we're going to hear Senator Lowe say a lot right here. He's got great integrity. I want y'all to listen closely to this, guys. This is huge. And it may just be me, guys. This may just be something that I'm just passionate about and that I'm really into, and it's not that interesting to you guys, but this is huge for Tennessee athletes. This is going to be something that 15, 20, 30 years down the road that will always be remembered right here. 50 years down the road. Good Lord willing, we are here, but this will be remembered right here. This moment in time will be remembered, just like they're going to mention when Brentwood Academy finally put on the big boy pants. Thank goodness, because they got some really smart people at Brentwood Academy, and they came after TSSAA, and it cost the TSSAA a lot of money, and they hit them on the First and Fourth Amendment, I believe is what it was what they switched up and come at TSSAA, and I fully believe that, because the current rule, especially the one now that specifically points out, except for athletics, that's discrimination against athletes, guys. And let's listen to see what Senator Lowe has to say right here in rebuttal to what Senator Roberts has just said right here. And like I said, Roberts did a great job. Great job, Senator Roberts. Great job. Yes, great job. I wish you was on our side right now. You need to switch, Senator Roberts. Look at it. You've got to know that this is right and wrong right here. This is family member. Okay. This is Senator Lowe, guys. Senator Adam Lowe right here. Let's listen to see what he has to say.
I can appreciate the sentiments. It is correct. TSSAA is a 501c3. And you've heard today they argued the protections that they receive from being essentially immune to the court process that they received from the Tennessee Supreme Court in 1968. What they didn't dictate was it was in 2001 that the U.S. Supreme Court said that they were a state actor. It wasn't until 2001.
Brentwood Academy.
They are a functional monopoly in the state of Tennessee. If your student is in high school athletics, there is no other legitimate organization or alternative to this.
Did you hear that? What what did just Senator Lowe just say? And he has said this a couple of times. They are a functional monopoly. No doubt. No doubt. Let's see if we can hear that one more time.
From being essentially immune to the court process that they received from the Tennessee Supreme Court in 1968. What they didn't dictate was it was in 2001 that the U.S. Supreme Court said that they were a state actor. It wasn't until 2001. They are a functional monopoly in the state of Tennessee. If your student is in high school athletics, there is no other legitimate organization or alternative to this, which is why we see that the U.S. Supreme Court functionally labeled them a state actor. That has happened post-1968, and it's easy to say, oh, well, it's a 501c3, but you have to look at how a thing functions, and this is very exceptional, and I do want to commend them for finally responding. When I was elected to the legislature, my first meeting in Cordell Hull was with the TSSAA. That's how far back this has gone for me, over 3 years. They began in 1925, and it wasn't until February of this year that they put on paper that you are able to transfer and keep your eligibility because of social, emotional, academic, environmental, or mental health reasons. It took some podunk trailer boy from East Tennessee winning a seat in the Senate to get up here and represent something that since 1968 could not be represented in the court, and that was the kids.
You heard that. Okay, I love that. I had to send Senator Lowe an email and tell him that he is by far podunk. And he's going to go in and show his integrity right here in just a minute because he's going to admit the loops and hoops that he had to come through just to get his kids into a school because of something that was going on. But he right there, you also heard a monopoly. They are a function of monopoly. And one of the moms that I was speaking to last night, guys, she had to go through this same thing. And what happened? She'd called TSSAA and she was talking to them. They said, well, if you don't like it, call another association. She said, who else can I call? And they laughed and hung up on her. A mom. A mom. They laughed and hung up on. They know that they've got that. They have been hiding behind that 501c3, and behind up until 2001, they were hiding behind that they couldn't be touched. That hey, we're just a yeah. And that has got to change. And that's what these lawmakers are doing right now. That is what Senator Lowe is doing right now. That's why Representative Scott Sapicki had even started this bill. And he's got some other great ones, guys, not just for this and for our students, guys, and for athletes. And so does Senator Adam Lowe. Senator Adam Lowe has over 50-something bills he's put forth. Representative, this is how well I know these guys now. Representative Sapicki has put forth over 20-something bills. And if you'll look at them, every one of them have merit. Every one of them. Same way with Senator Adam Lowe. And you heard what Senator Roberts said. He said he don't know if he's ever went in opposition against one of his friends or against one of the bills. He knows that this is something that needs to go forward, guys. And okay, let's keep listening to what I love what Senator Adam Lowe says right here, guys. I really do. But bravo and thank you very much, Senator Adam Lowe, for what you're doing. And thank you, Representative Scott Sapicki. You're awesome. He played pro football and baseball too. Representative Sapicki did athletes. Let's keep listening to what Senator Adam Lowe is saying right here, guys.
You heard the testimony of the father. I moved my son in the middle of high school, experienced the TSSAA policy, and thank goodness you heard Senator Taylor early say that he was affluent enough to create opportunities. I was affluent enough to jump through all the little holes that were created for a well-to-do family like me and my kid. But you know what I saw in the midst of that transfer? 7 other families from the school we were trying to leave because of a toxic coach never play athletics again. We let band kids move, we don't ask questions. Drama kids move, don't ask questions. We let cheerleaders move and don't ask questions. But in 1925, we began a process of bureaucracy that functioned in this comfortable little eddy outside of any responsibility. And since 1968, you heard the testimony where literally they use the threat of that failure of law. They run people off from lawsuits that probably have cause and standing to have those lawsuits to say, oh, you'll never get it through the courts. They've said that they won't even listen to it. So if there's no recourse in court and there's no resource with the appropriately named Board of Control, we're the only recourse for these families and for these kids. Now, I think we're being very, very reasonable to acknowledge that, all right, they have made these changes. This is a step forward. But we want to ratify this. You've already heard testimony that they're already looking to back up on it in April, that they want to bounce it off everybody and see where it's going. No. We want to at least codify this. And I agree with Senator Hale. I think it is none of the ivory tower of TSSAA's business why I moved my child from school A to school B. I think that if I want to move for an athletic reason, and that is part of their academic journey, that's valid. I think that academics is an important part. You heard the testimony that athletics should be in its proper place. That's its proper place. It's an additive to everything else, but it cannot deny the fact that it brings belonging and kids benefit from coaching and teamwork, and that's a valid part of the educational experience. So that's my argument against what my wonderful colleague had said, is the fact that even though it's a 501c3. In 2001, the Supreme Court said they are a state actor. And I'll tell you, we all remember doping hearings in the 90s from Major League Baseball, and people wondered, why are they going before Congress? A functional monopoly. There has to be some oversight, and our families and athletes honestly deserve it. Honestly deserve it. I'll humor any other questions. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Are there any other questions? Senator Poe.
Fantastic job right there, guys. Fantastic. And I hope you was following along and you was able to see right there. I'm sure you are, because most of you guys that are watching this or even on the replay are fully aware of what's been developing. But for you guys that are not fully aware of what's been developing, what it is Senator Lowe is stepping up for the athletes here in Tennessee. He has seen it firsthand because he went through it with his own kids, and you heard that some of the other senators have been through it as well. It should be fair across the board for everybody. It should not be unbalanced to where the one that can't afford to go get a house over here in a new district can still go play for a coach and better himself. If he feels like there's a better quarterback coach over here and he can get better coaching and give him better chances to getting in college and getting his scholarship paid for, well, then he should be able to do that. Point blank, I'm looking at my other camera. I got to look over here. Point blank, he should be able to change, guys. I don't see how that this. Oh, I still have my other. I don't see how anyone can be in opposition to this one right here. I really don't. And I guess I can, because it's it's Senator Roberts' constituents. But as we'll see right here in a second, I'm going to play through and let you hear the ones that did vote and didn't vote for this, just so we know, just so we are aware of who is for this and who is against this, guys. So if these guys that are against it in your district, you can contact them and let them know that you are for this bill, guys. Let them know that you are supporting them and that you would rather them, instead of being in opposition, you'd rather them be for this bill, because it is something that is going to help athletes better themselves. It's discrimination against athletes as it stands. And if you watch my short video yesterday, I believe it is, when I shared it, I shared what Senator or what Director Reeves had it said right after the meeting, or when he come in front of the Senate board and met, or it might have been the House. And let me pull that up, guys, so we're aware of what I'm talking about right here. And I might have to find it because Mr. Griffin is talking. This was a month ago, okay, guys. This is board member Griffin starting out, and I shared this in a short, but not this part yesterday. But I want to get to what Director Reeves says about a month ago, and we'll get into that because you'll see how it ties into this.
Well, as a former coach, I hate to see that the way things are going in our society as far as athletics. Like I said, it's not the same world that I grew up in playing, but it is the way of the world, and we have to make adjustments. And that's one thing that our coaches and educators in general are great at, is making adjustments to the changing world around them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. If it's the law of the land, then we have to follow it, and we don't know all the ramifications of that yet. And if there's a law, like it was said in the meeting, we'll make the adjustment and move forward on that. But it's kind of hard to make a decision on something before you even know the rules of the game.
We want to create.
And here is Senator Lowe about a month ago, a quote, and this was on WLT 8 out of Knoxville, I believe. Thank you, guys. Y'all do a great job in Knoxville covering sports and covering the news there, guys. I'm using your clip right here because the one I could find on these guys. Great job, guys.
As much freedom for students and parents to move from school to school as they need to.
As much freedom for the students and the parents to move from school to school as they need to. And that don't mean jumping around the schools, guys. Right now it's just one time, anytime. And to be against that is, but yeah, it's your cup of tea. Let's keep listening because we're coming up. Right here is Director Reeves.
Officials.
House Bill 25 very well could be for the catalyst for that NCAA transfer model that we all want to avoid.
TSSAA Executive Director Mark Reeves wants the organization to keep control on rules for athletics. He says to avoid lawsuits.
That's not what he just said, though. Let's come back just a little bit right here. Let's see what he says right here. And he says as the catalyst, as that NCAA. And this is not even...
25 very well could be for the catalyst for that NCAA transfer model.
The scare, this is their biggest, the only thing that they got to hold on to right here is afraid it might end up like the NCAA and everybody jumping schools. It's only for one time. And I'm for two. They need to put a stipulation in there that it could be a second time in case they get in a bad situation. What if that school hires a new coach and that coach is not really a pass coach or a running coach, or he don't bring a good quarterback coach, or he don't bring a good wide receivers coach, or he's not really focused on bettering the team, or it was just a friend of the principal's who he hired in, and hey, he's just learning to coach. Okay, let's listen to it again, guys.
That we all want to avoid.
TSSAA Executive Director Mark Reeves wants the organization to keep control on rules for athletics.
Right there.
He says to avoid lawsuits that could come if the state regulates it.
Avoid lawsuits.
By opening the door for a plethora of legal challenges all over the state to our eligibility rules.
They're coming right now. A discrimination with the athlete. You are discriminating against the athlete. That's my ground. And I'm not a lawyer, so you don't have to hold me tight on that, anyone. But I feel like this is truly discrimination against athletes and their families. This is America. It's a free country. If a parent feels like their daughter or son could do a better job and get a better situation at this school, they ought to be able to go there. They shouldn't have to prove that they got a house here and then worry about, hey, are they catching me going back to my other house? Or because what's happening. Come on. That's I was telling my brother, that's one of the big things that destroys America and everywhere, the gray area. You've got right, wrong, and the gray area. And the ones that know how to work the gray area, they sell right. It's either right or wrong. It's either right or wrong. But let's keep listening to this part. I shared this in a short yesterday, guys. But now that I got you live, I can comment and tell you my thoughts on it.
We do not have the resources to fight all these challenges if they rise to the level that we would anticipate.
Cost to your members because you're not willing to even look at, can the state come in and help you here?
On top of this, they also feel they should have more control, especially since they help regulate public schools.
TSSAA has a functional.
I stopped it right there, right before he said it. He said this just a little bit earlier in the Senate House on the floor. Here it is.
Monopoly.
Do they not?
Functional monopoly on high school sports.
And one of the things that we heard from my colleagues is the arbitrariness of how these are being decided.
There's no oversight. We need oversight over an organization that's making multi-million dollars from our high schools. Okay, this is a little off the transfer, but you know, when COVID was here, when COVID was here, guys, let me turn back to my camera here. When COVID was here, guys, TSSAA did not allow any fans in the stands during the season. Okay, when the playoffs got there, you could have fans in the stands. You know when the TSSAA makes money is when it's the playoff time. The schools couldn't make no money during the season, but they can make it when it comes to. Okay, they're an organization. It's about making money. Okay, guys, it's just part of what life is, guys. I fully understand that, but you've got to. That is why they needs to be oversight, and they needs to be state oversight because we're dealing with state funded educational system, guys. And let's keep listening to what we got here.
Reeves wants the organization to keep control on rules for athletics. He says to avoid lawsuits that could come if the state regulates it.
By opening the door for a plethora of legal
we heard that one. I was replaying it. My bad, guys. But point blank, guys, right here says it best.
Monopoly.
What's TSSAA got on all the high school sports here in Tennessee, guys?
TSSAA has a functional monopoly.
He said it all right there, guys. And that is something that they have to get that under control, guys. Do y'all know how many athletes this has hurt, guys? I heard about a couple of good basketball players in Memphis that over the summertime they were playing basketball with a different coach, all right? They found out, let me come in here. Oh, my bad, guys, I'm clapping. They found out that this was a better coach, and they worked, and they liked the coach. Well, they wanted to go play with the coach. No, they got that whole. Even Penny Hardaway even went through something like this, guys. That caused trouble. They had to sit out a year. Like I was saying earlier, if you make a high school athlete sit out 1 year, he or she will never get that year back, guys. And that puts them a year behind if they're not able to practice with the team. That puts them a year behind. How is that helping the kids? How is that helping the kids? How are you putting the kids first right there? I don't understand that. It all leads back to money, everything. But I'm not going to point no fingers, or it ain't got nothing to do with that. It has to do with the kids right here and what's right and wrong, guys. How do you feel about that, guys? What do you think? I'm looking over to see if I've got any chats. Because if you ask some questions, I'm trying to catch it, guys, so I can answer you. But guys, I've got to show my support for Senator Adam Lowe for what he is doing. And guys, right here, I've got to share this right here. This is the guy that started it all off. If he is from he represents Culleoka here in Tennessee, guys, and it is Scott Sapicki. And look who's behind him right here. Let's watch this right here. I believe I've got it up right here.
Governor Bill Lee here, and I'm standing with my friend Scott Sapicki, who is the state House representative for this section of Murray County, but more importantly, he's my friend, and he's a man who understands what matters to Tennesseans. He is a strong advocate for the family. He's a strong fiscal conservative. When it comes to fiscal policy, he is a man who understands the importance of education and education freedom. Scott Sapicki is running again for the State House, and we need to make sure that he comes back. I'm proud to endorse him and support him as my friend and my co-worker in the Tennessee General Assembly. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right there, guys. That is Representative Scott Sapicki. Thank you. Thank you very much, Representative Scott Sapicki. You are doing a fantastic job in Nashville representing everyone in Tennessee. And I- I'm not just saying that because of sports, guys. You can go in and look at the other bills that he has been putting forward and the things that he has stood up for, guys. He has stood up for family, same way with Senator Adam Lowe. They have stood up for things that are right. They are there trying to make a change for us here in Tennessee. I was absolutely amazed at some of the other bills that came forth and listening to these fellas talk. They are on our side, guys, and not just for the athletes, but they need your support, guys. If you have the time, please contact these fellas. I believe I've got their info right here somewhere. I had it right here, guys. If this is the bill that they had put forth right here, guys, and this is what it says. If it says local, this is the bill that they're pushing. This is what we were talking about, and it says local educational agencies as introduced prohibits a public school from using public funds to have a membership with an association that regulates interscholastic athletics and prohibits the student from participating in an interscholastic athletic competition due to the students transferring no more than once from a school at which the student previously participated in an interscholastic athletic competition regulated by the association, amends TCA Title 49. This started with like HB 0025, but right here, this guy right here, Representative Scott Sapicki. Please show him your support, guys. You can email him, you can call him. It's easy to find. I've got it on my Facebook. I thought I had the page up right here with their info on it. But guys, you can easily show your support for these guys right here. This is huge, guys. This is like I said, and right over here, you got to give Mr. Senator Adam Lowe a big round of applause because he stood up for our kids. You heard him. He said it. This is for the kids. This is for the kids right here, guys. This is coming up this week. This is coming on the Senate floor this week, guys, and I have a petition that I started. I wish I'd already started it. I never even thought about that. I've never put a petition out, never in my life. and they've got me hooked. I'm going to have to be watching a lot more that they've got going on now because I'm really interested in this. I like watching Senator Kennedy in Washington. He's awesome. Y'all seen me share a lot of short on him because he's awesome. He's awesome. But these guys are working for us, guys. And I don't want to take up much more of your time right here, guys. I really appreciate you joining me on this live stream. This is just something that has been weighing really big on me, guys. I know how important this is, guys. Please spread the word, guys. You ain't got to spread it by telling people to watch my video. You can spread it by telling them what these guys are doing. These guys right here are the heroes in this right now. This is something that's going to be talked about 50 years from now, guys. If you're an athlete, encourage your parents to support these guys right now. It's huge. You think, well, I'm not moving schools. I'm not worried about it. When you get older, you may have your kids there, and you've seen that there's a difference in good coaching here and bad coaching there. And I'm not ever going to point no fingers on that because everybody has their own style to what they're doing and their own beliefs. But we know that there's a difference in good coaching and guys that's just out there doing it. Or maybe they're just new coaches. Maybe it's just that they haven't figured out how to coach yet because there is, yes, it's a skill, guys. To be a good coach is a skill. You have to have, and you heard what Senator Adam Lowe said right there. This is huge for the teamwork and all the things that, man, I know with the Giles County Bobcats, I know how hard them kids work. And let me come back in on me right here. I know how hard them kids work. I know how hard the guys at Ardmore work. I know how hard they work in Marshall County. I know how hard they work at Blackman. I haven't been at a practice at Page yet, but I'm coming up there. I can't wait to go watch them this year. I should have already been there. But I know them guys is working. They're competitors. They've got to be working. They've got good coaches, guys. So anybody that's in that area, they want to go play but okay, if let's just say a kid goes to Page, all right, and he realizes, oh man, I'm not going to be able to play on the line here. I got too many guys ahead of me. Oh, okay, but he could go right on maybe over to Nolensville. I can't say Nolensville's tough too, but they could go on over to Nolensville because they got some openings on the line, and he could probably play there. Why not? Let him go there. Or even better, it could be at Giles County. And the kid, I'm not going to be able to play here, but I'm going to have a better shot of playing if I go over here to, let's say, Richland, or if I go to Lawrenceburg, or even at Lawrenceburg. I might have a better shot if I don't know, go to Summertown. It don't matter. It's up to the parent to decide what is best for their kid and what's going to make that kid have the best options in life, guys. Believe me, I'm fully aware of that because I saw it when I was in school. I know, and I've heard so many stories, guys. Thank you guys very much for joining me. As you can see, this is a big topic for me. Y'all see my other video right up here, right up there. As y'all can see, this is a big topic for me, guys. I'm all on it, and I'm really working toward providing you guys with a better show. Look at that. I can move it around. It tickles me to death, guys. It really does. But guys, I'm working on being able to provide you guys with a lot better show. And as you can see right here, subscribe for more area sports, guys. Definitely subscribe. If you're watching me right now on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and smash that bell for me, guys, so you'll be notified. Because I just now announced that I was going live on my Facebook because I felt like I had it down. And I feel like I've got it down now, guys. I really do. I'm excited. Monday, I'm going to have Carson on live from Marshall County, guys, and I'm going to be able to talk to, I believe, Coach Osteen after practice, and I believe Gavin Johnson will be on, guys. And I've got to get over and watch them Giles County Bobcats this week. You know my brother's coach there, guys. No doubt. I mean, that's what got me started with this right here, guys. And I love it. I thank God for this opportunity to be able to be a part of this now, guys, and to be able to encourage our athletes. It's another shot for me to do something that is right and is positive for the community and for these kids, guys. Thank you, God. That's point blank. Point blank. I can't say anything. Thank my brothers. I got to thank my brothers always. And my sister. If it wasn't for my sister, I wouldn't have that camera right there. Or if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't have that camera right over there. I wouldn't be able to give you this live stream if it wasn't for my family members. I love them very much, guys. But guys, I'm not going to keep on. I can sit here and talk to you all night about this, especially about this current bill that they have. Please support these guys. Please support these guys. I implore you to please take the time and let them know that you've got their back and that you are for this, guys. It's something that's going to be talked about years down the road, and believe me, it's very. I know sports very well, and I know high school sports here in Tennessee very well, and I know how big this is. You got to remember, and I've tried sharing this story, and I've got it coming up on ladies basketball. Remember, it wasn't until 1978 till girls could play past half court. Up till then, TSSAA said girls ain't supposed to run and they cannot go past half court. What about that rule? Was that not archaic rule right there? Girls, do y'all have a problem running down the court? I know you don't. I'm watching you play football up in Nashville now. We got some ballers. Yay, V from Giles. You was a baller, young lady. Got some. Thank you guys for joining me in here tonight. It's been real. It's been fun. It's, of course, if you know, I went up and I visited my family. I got to eat with my uncle tonight. I got to mention this right here. Happy birthday, Uncle Babe. Happy birthday. I hope you have had a great day. I hope you celebrate many more birthdays. He was 75, guys. He never missed a Giles County Bobcat football game. Any game, Lee High School, when my brother first started out, he was at all those games. Never missed any of them. He's one of the greatest uncles I got. Only lives about 3 miles from us here. And this is him right there on the left with the hat on, with Devin, my cousin. These are all my cousins right here too, guys. I'm going to watch some baseball in Marshall County to watch my cousin play Tuesday night too, y'all. I can't wait for that. It was great seeing my family, and it was great having you guys in here with me today. I'm going live with y'all now, guys. And I'm putting together a lot more shows. And hey, I hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope you support this bill, guys. Once again, I got to thank you, Senator Adam Lowe, and I got to thank you, Representative Scott Sapicki. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell y'all, guys. I didn't get to the end of it. My bad. This thing went to vote. When it went to vote, and let me pull this up for us right here. This did go into vote, and let's bring it up right here.
If I understand the testimony from
and let me get it in right here for us. I'm sorry about that. I want y'all to see who voted for this now.
I'm with you, but when you're saying this, they can't change it to the first.
Oh, and this is of course was.
They've got
This
to
is a good
change
guy
their
right here.
policy and make it
Pody,
tighter
Pody.
than the first day. And there's a lot of people that change before that. I mean, having it done before the first day of school, a lot of people move during the school year. And we're saying here at this point.
Okay. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead of myself. I got to think about my uncle right there. Okay, that was Senator Pody, and he brought up a good point right there. What he's asking is, what if a kid moves during the middle of school? Can he transfer then? And that's what they're about to strike out of this and make sure you're going to be able to transfer anytime, one time, anytime. So anytime, if it was at Christmas, if it was in the middle of the season, whenever it is, you're going to be able to transfer. And that's what Senator Pody was
Sit out a
saying right
year
here.
when they move schools. They don't make an athletic director.
Oh,
None of
here it
their
goes.
membership
Listen to
has
this.
to
We got to
sit
hear
out.
this, y'all.
They just do these things. So it's still open for them to decide tomorrow that they go to an open transfer, as Senator Hill.
Okay. Before we get this was picking up where we left off, where Senator Roberts asked, "Does TSSAA still have the chance to make the changes?" And that's where Senator Lowe was answering him right here, guys. That's where we're picking up right here.
Suggested. They can do that without having to come back before us. What they would need to do to come back before us in proper oversight of any monopoly in the state is include us in that. And here's my justification. I think the organization does a phenomenal job representing its membership. Its membership are athletic directors in schools. But nowhere in the discussion about what's good for student athletes is there anyone at the table. And this process now introduces us. We're elected by those families. And because being elected by those families, we now can provide voice to the situation, because they don't make a coach sit out a year when they move schools. They don't make an athletic director. None of their membership has to sit out a year, but the kids do.
A coach can move anytime. An athletic director can move anytime. And they don't have to sit out a year. Only the kids. That's what Senator Lowe was saying.
Senator Pody, you're recognized.
Well, I'm with you, but when you're saying this, they can't change it to the first day of school. I mean, they've got to change their policy and make it tighter than the first day. And there's a lot of people that change before that. I mean, having it done before the first day of school, a lot of people move during the school year. And we're saying here at this point, we can't do that from now on, and they can't do it, and they've already done it. So we're backing up on what they've said, and they have to come and change the law in order to go forward. I know you're saying that they can do other things and they can do open policy, but even an open policy still has to follow this law right here. Or am I missing that?
Senator Lowe, you're recognized.
Senator Pody, I've seen you do it before. I would love for you right now to make a verbal amendment to strike that section, and I'll second it.
All right, then, Madam Chair.
Senator Pody, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, now, don't we have an amendment without this? One of the other amendments that have been filed?
No, sir.
Okay, then Madam Chair, I want to make a verbal amendment that we strike out of section 1, 2, we strike that sentence out.
Second.
Okay.
And that's the sentence that is saying they have to have it done prior to the first of the year. All right, so that's saying anytime. That's what Senator Pody is making a great point there, because if it didn't, they would have to go all the way back in front of them and redo the law again, because this is going in TCA, which means this is law, guys. We watching how law is put in the books right here, guys.
Senator Pody makes a verbal amendment. Senator Lowe seconds it. Any discussion? Let me ask legal.
We'll listen and see what they say.
Vote on the amendment.
Okay. Legal says the proper way to do this is to vote for the oral amendment first, and then we'll vote on the amendment. All in favor of striking?
Okay, guys. We won't have to listen to all this because right now what they're about to do is they are about to vote on this. My bad. I'm hitting my volume in my headphones, guys. But I've got right here who did what. So let me tell you right here, just so we're aware and we've got it. And let me bring me back on here. Boom. Hey guys, got you right there. Okay, in favor, all those that voted aye in favor of this rule was from District 3, Senator Rusty Crowe, from District 18, Senator Farrell Hale, from District 28, Senator Joey Hensley. Thank you, Mr. Hensley. I've listened to you the last couple of weeks. You do a fantastic job as well. Also, District 17, Mr. Senator Mark Pody, who we heard just talking right there. He seems like he's a lawyer too. Most of these guys are, and ladies, because from District 13, Murfreesboro, Senator Don White, and of course from District 1, Senator Adam Lowe. District 13 reminded me of the movie. That's a great movie. All those voted in favor. Okay. So, as we know, going into the House next week, we've got at least 6 senators that are in favor of this bill. Okay. Up and right now, that we know that's in opposition is Senator Ramesh Akbari from District 29, which is, I believe, Memphis. District 22, Bill Powers. And from District 23, of course, Senator Kerry Roberts, who we heard speaking at the very first right here, guys. Okay, guys, what I got to ask is if you heard one of these guys and they're in your area that voted no for this, please reach out to them. Keep it civil, because this is all civil right here. That's how things is done in America, is we do it civil. And just reach out and ask them to change it. Let them know that you're in favor of it. If you're against it, you can reach out to these guys that's in favor of it. That's how we do things in America, and it's great. It is great. I'm just making my point, guys. I'm just showing what I believe is what I think is right, guys. And as I bring it up, I got to show this right here too as we're talking about it. As we bring it up right there, guys, I'm just making out my point, guys. This is just how I feel about the situation. And I got this camera right here. I can look at you right here, guys. What about this? I'm excited about going live with y'all. If you know me, you know me, guys. So now you're in here live with me. You know I'm going to be able to share a lot more content with y'all, guys. We're going to be able to go live a lot more. And, oh, yeah. It ain't time to turn it off yet, Puddin'. Leave that alone. She's ready to go for a walk. She's ready to start my, yes. But guys, now we're able to go live. When it comes football season, man, I'm going to be able to have the kids on live right here. This is going to be exciting, guys. It's going to be, it's huge. It's huge for the kids in the area and for the teams. It's huge for me because I love sports. And now I can get on here and talk sports live with you guys, mixed with my highlights, guys. If you haven't had the chance, please go watch some of my highlight reels, guys. I love making highlight videos, guys. They're fun. I walk around with Puddin' working or thinking out my videos and working on them, guys. But I do not mind visiting your school. But you know, guys, I've got to back them Bobcats, and I back Marshall County because I know their coaching staff very well, and I've got to know their students or their athletes very well. But Giles County is where I started, and that's where my brothers is at. But I'm fair and equal, and that's what got me out to talking to other schools was because we won't go into that. But guys, Point Blank Giles County is going to be a powerhouse this season. You're going to want to keep your eyes on them Bobcats. That is no joke. Them boys, ooh, are they strong this season? Now, Marshall County is too. They've got Tyler Thompson coming back. They quarterback Mr. Football with some fantastic receivers. As y'all have seen if you watched any of my videos, I'm going to be covering them guys this year, guys. But them Bobcats, oh, they coming for state this year, y'all. They coming for state, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to be a long season. And I'm going to be able to be live with you guys right here, sharing that with you guys. I can't wait, guys. Thank y'all very much for joining me. It's been, as I say, it's been real and it's been fun. Would I say it's been real and it's been fun? It's been real and fun, y'all. Thank y'all again, guys. Yay. Oh, yeah. It's been real, y'all. What about my clothes? Y'all like that? I didn't have my audio on, did I?